Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.
Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing, those who are able, for our more honors. First I rise, giving praise to Allah.
First I rise, giving praise to Allah,
The great God of the universe.
the great God of the universe.
I give honor to his last prophet in these days.
I give honor to his last prophet in these days,
Prophet Noble Juali.
Prophet Noble Juali.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah.
I give honor to all true divine prophets of Allah,
Jesus. Muhammad.
Muhammad,
Buddha.
Buddha,
Confucius.
Confucius,
Etc.
etc.
I give honor to Marcus Garvey.
I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
Forerunner of Prophet Noble Juali.
the forerunner of Prophet Noble Juali.
I give honor to the American flag.
I give honor to the American flag,
The flag of our birth.
the flag of our birth,
And to the Moorish flag.
and to the Moorish flag,
Our decent flag.
our decent flag,
The red flag.
the red flag,
With the five-pointed green star in the center.
with the five-pointed green star in the center,
Representing the divine principles.
representing the divine principles
Of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I give honor to our divine charter.
I give honor to our divine charter,
Which gives us the divine and legal right.
which gives us the divine and legal right
To practice and promote our religion.
to practice and promote our religion
Unmolested.
unmolested.
I give honor to all past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators.
I give honor to all past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators
Of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay.
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay.
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
And Brother J. Blakely Bay.
and Brother J. Blakely Bay.
I give honor to our past former Grand Sheik and moderator.
I give honor to our past former Grand Sheik and moderator,
Brother R. Loville.
Brother R. Loville.
I give honor to Brother R. Jones Bay.
I give honor to Brother R. Jones Bay,
Our present Grand Sheik and moderator.
our present Grand Sheik and moderator
Of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
I give honor to the Assistant Grand Sheik.
I give honor to the Assistant Grand Sheik,
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
I give honor to the National Chairman,
I give honor to the National Chairman,
who is also the Grand Sheik
who is also the Grand Sheik
here at Temple 71,
here at Temple 71,
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
Brother P. Chase.
Brother P.J. Seal.
I give honor to all national officials
I give honor to all national officials
in their office and station.
in their offices and
I
stations.
give honor to all grand governors
I give honor to all grand governors
and assistant grand governors.
and assistant grand governors.
Giving honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
Giving honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
And to his assistant,
and to his assistant,
Sister D. Jones Bay.
Sister D. Jones Bay.
I give honor to all local officials
I give honor to all local officials
in their office and station.
in their offices and
I
stations.
give honor to all members
I give honor to all
of
members
the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America
I
Incorporated.
give honor to all auxiliaries
I give honor to all auxiliaries
and the Moorish media team
and the Moorish media team
and everything that the prophet brought and taught
and everything that the prophet brought and taught
for the uplifting of all humanity.
for the uplifting of all humanity.
I give honor to our class.
I give honor to our class.
I give honor to all of those who are listening in
I give honor to all those that listen in
and all of those who are viewing
and all of those who are viewing
our meeting.
our meetings.
Peace.
Peace.
I'll now read Salvation, Our God, Unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America. The Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended into his Father, God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali founded Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, mailing address, MST of A Incorporated, P.O. Box 388, Greenbelt, Maryland, 20768. Thus, we had a reading from all 7 acts, divine constitution and bylaws. We'll now have a reading from questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand sheiks and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand sheik. Act 2. All members are to attend their ad meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid men save the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch him. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag, or speak radical against the church, or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God and love. Peace.
Peace.
Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts, questioning additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet noble Drew Ali. We'll now have a reading from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guiding of his father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from a simple and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. I'll read from here. This is going to be page 36, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, chapter 26, Holy Instructions of Unity. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah, and he appointed unto every one his portion in what measure seemeth good unto himself. Hath he endowed thee with wisdom? Hath he enlightened thy mind with the knowledge of truth? Communicated to the ignorant for their instruction. Communicated to the wise for thine own improvement. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. The wise man doubteth often and changeth his mind. The fool is obstinate and doubteth not. He knoweth all things but his own ignorance. Peace.
Peace.
Thus we had a reading from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Our Sunday school Koran class is now officially open. If there is anyone in the vestibule area or downstairs, please let them up at this time. Islam, Moors.
Islam.
Happy holy month to you.
Happy holy month.
Pray to Allah that we all have our something that we can write down and take notes in. And without further delay, I call forth our Grand Seeking moderator of the Moore Science Temple of America Incorporated, who is also our brother, man, and friend, Brother R. Jones Becker.
Islam. Islam. Allah, universe, Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, True Ali. Amen.
Islam.
Islam.
Okay, what was the lesson last Sunday? What did we talk about? What was the focus last Sunday? All right.
Heaven.
All right. All right. Okay. Who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah is the Father of the universe.
Can we see it?
No.
Where is the nearest place we can read it?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Drew Ali?
He is Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
The prophet is the thought of Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Noble Drew Ali.
What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913 A.D.
Where?
Newark, New Jersey.
Where was Noble Drew Ali born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
What is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish American?
Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
For the uplifting of all humanity.
How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish America?
By teaching them to be themselves.
What is our religion?
Islamism.
Is that a new or is that the old time religion?
Old time religion.
What kind of a flag is the Moorish?
Is a red flag with a 5-point inside the center.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
How old is our flag?
It is over 10,000 years old.
Which is our holy day?
Friday.
Why?
Because Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh. And it was on Friday when he departed out of flesh.
Who was Jesus?
He was a prophet of Allah.
Where was he born?
In Bethlehem of Judah in the house of David.
Who were his father and mother?
Joseph and Mary.
Will you give in brief the line genealogy through which Jesus came?
Some of the great fathers to which Jesus came are Abraham, Bozdaru, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph and Mary.
Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth?
To save the Israelites from the iron hand of Persia, thus in the nations of Europe, who governed a portion of Palestine at that time.
How long has that been?
About 2,000 years ago.
What was the nationality of Ruth?
Ruth was the Moabites,
What is the modern name for Moabites?
Moroccans,
Where is the Moroccan Empire?
northwest of Mexico,
What is the modern name for Mexico?
Africa,
What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco?
Sultan,
Where do we get the name Jesus?
from the east.
What does the name Jesus mean?
Jesus means justice.
Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name?
Yes, it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin.
What is an angel?
An angel is the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh.
What are angels used for?
To carry a message to the four corners of the world to all nations.
What is our prophet to us?
He is an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the gospel.
What is the everlasting gospel?
It is
The
the same
saving power that comes from Allah through our prophet.
What is the covenant of the great God, Allah?
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon earth, which the Lord your God give thee.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At the age of 12,
Where did he teach?
India, Africa, and Europe,
How long did he teach?
18 years.
What did Jesus say that would make you free?
Truth.
What is truth?
Truth is all.
What is all?
All is Allah.
Can truth change?
Truth cannot change or pass away.
What other name do we give to truth?
Holy bread.
What have you to say about holy bread?
All we can say is it is great, it is good, it was, it is, and ever will be. Amen.
At what place on earth was the physical part of man formed?
In the Garden of Eden,
Where is the Garden of Eden?
in the land of Canaan, in the city of Mecca.
What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden?
Mecca.
What is the name of the first physical man?
His name cannot be used only by executive rules of the AC and CMA.
What are the words of
death, change,
Who were Adam and Eve?
The mothers and fathers of the human family, Israelites and Muslims.
Where did they go?
They went into Asia.
What's the modern name given to their children?
Asiatics.
Who is guarding the holy city of Mecca today to keep the unbelievers away?
Angels.
What is the modern name for those angels?
Asiatics.
What's the shade of their skin?
Olive.
Are the Moorish Americans any relation to those angels?
Yes, we all have the same father and mother.
Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve.
Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast.
What is the devil sometimes called?
The lower self.
How many cells are there?
2.
Name them.
Higher self and lower self.
What people represent the higher self?
The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca.
What people represent the lower self?
Those who cast out the holy cities and go to accept their teaching.
What is the higher self?
The higher self is the mother of virtues and harmonies of life, peace, justice, mercy, love, and right.
Can the higher self pass away?
No.
Why?
Because it is all in man.
What does the lower self breed?
Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms.
What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when we met him?
Where are you going, Satan?
What was the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self?
I am going to and fro the earth, seeking whom I may devour.
Has he finished his task of devouring?
Yes.
When was his time declared out?
When he nailed Jesus on the cross.
What are the last words Jesus uttered?
It is finished.
What did he have reference to?
He had reference to the end of Satan.
Did Jesus say that he would return to conquer him?
Yes.
What is the name of the person into whom Jesus was first reincarnated?
Prophet Muhammad the Conqueror.
Was Satan to be bound in?
Satan was to be bound in part.
When was the head of Satan taken off?
1453 Byzantine.
By whom?
By Muhammad.
Name some of the marks that were put upon the north and northwest by the European nations in 1774.
Negro, black, colored, Ethiopia.
Negro.
The name given to a river in West Africa by Moors because it contains black water.
What is meant by the word black?
Black, according to science, means death.
What does the word colored mean?
Colored means anything that is seen varnished about.
What does Ethiopia mean?
Ethiopia means something divided.
Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian?
No,
Why?
because man is made in the image and likeness of God.
What title does Satan give himself?
God.
Would you define the word white?
White means purity, purity means God. God is the ruler of the land.
To whom do we refer to at times as being the great God?
Allah.
Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah?
No, he's a shadow of the Lord's self in the passage.
Who made the devil?
Elohim.
Who is Elohim?
Elohim is the 7 created spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and ever was to be.
What is Elohim sometimes called?
The 7 eyes of Allah.
How many days are in the circle?
7 days.
How many days are in creation?
7 days.
According to science, how many days are in a year?
7 days.
Praise Allah. Okay. That was better. That was better, but we can still do better. I read a book. The people who adhered to the laws of Almighty God Allah, who followed the customs, culture, and traditions of their fathers who came before them. They lived on a mountain. The mountain was holy. But down in the valley, there were those who did not adhere to the laws of God. They were reckless. They were disrespectful. And they functioned in a certain state of mind. Now, the people of the mountain were instructed not to go down into the valley. But shortly, a few started to venture down into the valley because they heard noise. You know what noise does. What does noise do?
Stir.
Stir what up?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. And the people of the mountain who were adhering to the laws of God heard the noise. And then they began to want to see what?
What it
What's
was.
going on. And when they looked down into the valley, they were able to see the different colors. Because the dress was different. All of a sudden they started to see what? Yeah, but they started to see what?
Reflections.
Reflections of what? The thought. And the thought was very, what? Appealing. And so now the people began to entertain. I think I'm going down there to see what's going on. So they ventured down, those who ventured. They took the path, and the path, they got on the path and went downward into a what?
Lower state.
A lower state. Meaning what was happening? What took place? What in that lower state, what was taking place? What happened?
Their thought changed.
They changed, but why did their thought change?
Jesus.
The ethers changed. They changed. And in the change, what happened?
Their thoughts changed.
Their thoughts did change. Because now they're in a what?
Slow.
A sluggish. That's right, boy, that's right. They're sluggish. They're sluggish. They become what?
More murky.
Murky. And now they lose what? Consciousness. And you know what? The knowledge of how to go back up the mountain has been removed. Now they're lost. They're lost in what?
The illusion.
The illusion. That's right. And now we're dealing with a different appearance. And those appearances do what to you? What does the appearance do? Allures you. It allures you. It pulls you into a certain what? Condition or thought, yes. Yes, a state of mind. It pulls you into another state of mind. Now you forget what? Who you are. Who you are and what else? Yes, you forget your instructions. Because these instructions that you have been taught when you were on the mountain, they're not applicable now. Because now you want to be like
them. Now you're becoming disobedient.
you have it. The disobedience came with
When you chose to go down.
They weren't supposed to go.
when they ventured off the mountain. That's the first sign of disobedience. So now we're lost. The key is to regain our what?
Lost the state.
Lost estate. But for us to learn how to regain our lost estate, what must happen?
You must return to the state of mind of your forefathers.
What you say?
I don't think you must return to the state of mind of your
And for
forefathers.
that to take place, what took place?
Remember to your age.
For us to be returned to the state of our ancient forefathers, what took place? The Redeemer. To redeem us from what?
Our sinful
Our
ways.
sinful ways. And who knows how long we've been off that mountain? But this is a what? This is a what?
The end of time and the fulfilling of the prophet.
Yes, but it is also, and that's the truth, you're right, but it is also what? It is a what? It is a new era of time. And in this new era of time and the Redeemer coming, what does the Redeemer do for our benefit?
Wake us up.
He wakes us up. He wakes us up. And now we start to ask the question, where did we come from? What's going on with me? Why am I not satisfied with
Condition.
condition. Why do I start to think that it's gotta be something better than this? So the Redeemer has
Sure.
stirred it up.
But you,
He done stirred us up. He done stirred us up. Yeah.
but understand, but being able to understand that it's a process. Whereas that you cannot change yourself overnight. You got to work as a process. Allah knows it's gonna be a process. He know it is. So you got to continue to strive. You can't give up. Because if you give up, you be back in the state of mind. Back in that state of mind. See, if I give up, I'm going back in the state of mind. I'm trying to keep myself from, this is keeping me from going in that state of mind, to be honest. This is the only thing that's stopping me.
That's the only thing that's stopping all of us
Praise the Lord.
Thank you. Praise the Lord.
from returning back to that state of mind.
Yes, it
Because
is.
we're very familiar with that.
Mhm.
But now we're trying to do something. We're trying to find our way back.
Study set.
Now, how do you find your way back to the past?
Change the thought.
Yeah, but look, how do you find your way back to the past? Follow the prophet, because the prophet has done what for us? To give us a way to the past. What has he done?
He went the way.
He has, but what has he done so that we could follow him?
He left his
He left his footprints.
Really cut.
The footprints are cut.
Mhm.
All we gotta do is follow the footprints. And we don't jump in front of the prophet, we follow the prophet. Come on.
I was thinking about turning away from sin.
Yeah, well, that's, for you to follow him, you got to turn. You're right. For you to follow the prophet, you got to turn away from sin. You got to, because see, that's, when you turn away from sin, what do?
You begin.
I was thinking that first we have to acknowledge that we committed a wrong. You know, and coming down the mountain, I was thinking the thought was before the act. We had the thought that what's going on down there. So then we want to go follow. So the thought was first.
Yeah.
Now, after we realized that we entered into a condition and was lost,
Yeah,
the prophet came to wake us up.
yeah,
So now we have to first acknowledge that we committed a wrong,
yeah,
you know, and ask for forgiveness.
yeah,
Then turn away from sin
yeah,
and strive to follow the prophet's footsteps.
yeah. You know, you said the thought was first. Come down.
Yeah. Jesus.
But now the thought, didn't I tell you about now, if the thought was first to come down, the thought has to be first to go out. Come on,
Also, I was thinking you got to believe that the prophet is a prophet.
you got
For
it.
you to follow them
You
footsteps,
got
you got to believe.
it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Look, the going up the mountain, back up the mountain, we're trying to do. We're trying to go back up.
Mhm.
We are carrying what? What are we carrying trying to get up the mountain? What are we carrying? Trying to get up that mountain. What are we carrying that we've learned from there? Come on, brother. Maybe.
So we learned from, I didn't see left away, he said we learned from trouble.
What are we carrying up the mountain based on what we have learned in the valley? We got baggage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got mental baggage.
Yeah.
So now that means for us to go up, we gotta get rid of some of that baggage.
That's right. That's right.
Can't take that.
Come on.
You said earlier, we don't know how long we've been there.
Right.
So in that period,
Yes,
however it may have been, however long it may have been,
yes, yes,
we done learned a lot of bad habits.
yes, yes,
And these habits,
yes,
we hold go to,
Yes,
and it prevents us
yes,
from going back up.
yes,
So that's part of
Yes.
the baggage you
yes,
talk about, we have
Yes.
to, you know, get rid of it.
yes, yes, yes. As a matter of fact, come on, Mo.
I was just thinking, like both of y'all was talking, I was just thinking that going into the minds, going back to a workshop on the mind, when they got something to deal with that.
Wait a minute, hold. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna keep on expressing myself, you know. Sometimes it gets annoying, right? It gets annoying. And because by this time, you've heard it enough so that you can make certain adjustments in your behavior. Well, you know, it's very impolite to talk when somebody else is talking. You do know that, right?
Yes.
I mean, didn't we learn that in school? What did you learn in school?
You should have learned it at home.
Yeah, but you didn't. So what did you learn in school?
Raise your hand.
Well, not only that, but not the whole conversation when people are talking. That's a matter of what? Disrespect.
And impertinence.
Come on now. Come on. Now, if it gets to be too frequent repetition, it becomes what?
Tiresome.
And annoying. So hopefully we don't have to go in that area again. You know, I said her, and hopefully I have to call out no name. You know, because I'm not trying to put you on blast. Come on.
You said something at the beginning, what did we carry to try to get back up, all out of the, from coming off of the mountain?
Yes,
We got baggage.
we got baggage, yes. Yes.
You know, we got baggage.
Now, what are you willing to discard to go back up? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up to go back up?
That's the key.
Well, that's the question.
Because you know one thing, Brother Reed, I just want to say this.
Yeah,
When we came off of that mountain,
yeah,
it wasn't like we just could turn back around.
right,
There was a price to pay.
right.
Listen,
And what was the price, babe?
Oh, man, the price was to lose that which we had before we came off of the
Not
mountain.
what we did. We gave up our, what
We
did we
gave up our birthright.
Our birthright.
We gave up our birthright. Even when we wanted to turn around, but we didn't, through sin and disobedience, we had to suffer.
Right, right. Come on.
we debased ourselves.
We did.
We debased ourselves.
That's right.
We found low self.
We debased ourselves.
And our high self.
That's right. Now, since we've been turned around and given direction, what are you willing to give up to go up the mountain?
Come on, that's good.
That's the question. Come on.
Everything, it's not, everything that harms.
Okay.
And I mean, everything that harms, because everything that we fell into was harming ourselves
Yeah.
as well as others. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of everything that harms. Each step I take, I'm
Okay.
gonna get rid of something that does harm.
Okay. I want something specific that you're giving up to go back up. And remember, you ain't gonna give up everything at once.
No.
So you gotta be prepared to sometimes have your progress impeded. Sometimes you'll think you should be a certain place, but you ain't gave up enough to go to ascend, because you still got a lot of baggage. Come on, bro Crawford. Here.
That's all. First, I'll be willing or make the attempt to get back there teaching.
Okay. But a specific something that you are willing to discard. Something specific that you are willing to discard so that you can lighten your load, so that you can ascend. That's what I'm asking.
No, hatred,
That's good.
hatred,
That's what I'm talking about.
that's not.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on.
Me, myself, that is the state, I will give up the state of mind. This state of mind, the life that I dealt with,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to that state.
Come on, brother Smith, baby.
Oh, I think I give up Thus.
Thus. That's heavy, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy. That's heavy, Mo. Yeah. Come on, brother Mark, baby.
I was giving up the way I was thinking.
Right.
You see, because I know that the higher time, the more I let go,
Yeah.
the easier it will be for me to climb.
Okay.
So that means I'm not carrying that much weight.
Okay. That's right.
I have to give up my way of thinking.
Okay. Give up your way of thinking. Just give me something specific.
Specifically,
Yeah.
hey,
Just something. Hey. Okay. Hey. Yeah. That's good. Come on, brother Faulkner, baby, and welcome back, brother Faulkner.
vanity.
Vanity. Vanity. Why is vanity so heavy?
This is above the money,
It is.
and it probably would have been responsible for me believing that I would not have done myself any harm by going there in the valley.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
now I got to humble myself
Right.
to accept somebody else's leadership to find a way back up to the
Right.
mountaintop.
Right. Right. Well, you know, many will come and say they know the way. But you have to recognize the one that's sent.
It was already my own footprints that got me lost.
Yeah.
I probably would have to rely on somebody who got footprints a little bit better than mine.
Right. 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 And remember one thing about the vanity that you, I'm sure that you know, you just didn't mention it. But vanity hides you from yourself.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So
the
giving
first
up that
thing to do.
vanity is very important.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Come on.
Causes.
Oh, Sister Johnson here. Yes.
Is I was gonna state misery.
Misery. Misery. Why are you giving up? Why are you giving up misery?
Because
How's that
misery,
weight? How's that heavy?
because it causes you to have negative thoughts, which keeps you in the murky ethers.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Come on, Cabinet Bay.
I would say selfishness.
Selfishness.
Yes.
Okay. Why is that selfishness important that you have to discard?
Because that was what made me go down the hill. Having a selfish curiosity on what was going on.
Okay. 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 So we know we can't climb back up with that. Come on, Sister McGee Bay.
Islam,
Islam.
I'd be willing to give away fear.
Fear. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, give up fear. Why would you give up fear?
I give up fear because fear would prohibit me from wanting to do better for myself.
Right.
That's right, that's right. That's right.
That's good. That's good. Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
Inconstancy,
Inconstancy. How detrimental is inconstancy?
because I'll start and stop, I start and stop. I want to climb, but I'm still wrestling with those things that got me down there,
Yeah.
and I'm not willing to, I start for a minute, but then next thing you know, I'm around the corner doing the same thing over again.
Right.
So I got to become more consistent and determined to do what I need to do, so that I can raise above those things.
Yeah.
And that's just like in this life we live in today.
Yeah.
You want to do what the prophets say, but tomorrow then the opportunity presents itself to influence you. Next thing you know, you mean well, your heart, you mean well,
Yeah.
but then you look up, you say, wow, how did I get over here?
Right.
And then you got to start all over again.
Right.
So inconstancy will be something, because that's going to prevent us from climbing.
Yeah.
It's being inconsistent and not being determined to do the things we need to do to climb.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Mo.
I was listening to that, like saying, like getting rid of my thoughts of wanting.
A what?
Getting rid of the thoughts of wanting everything. Yeah, chasing wants, always chasing wants. That'll hold you down.
Yeah.
Always chasing wants.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what I mean?
desires. Yeah.
You know,
I hear you.
things like, you used to be inconvenient to you,
Yeah,
and you used to it, and you wanna hate giving them things up.
yeah.
But that's going to have to change, because in order for it to get back started, you gotta get rid of them wants in your mind.
Okay, okay,
Peace.
okay. Come on.
So I was thinking about lawlessness. You know, because growing up in a culture, tradition, you know, a lot of times we look at, say like European, for example, and they have better neighborhoods and things like that.
Right,
So it's like we look at them as sort of being gifted. A lot of their stuff is given to them. And in our culture, we struggle. And it's not as easy to get gifts, like grants, and you know, you gotta put a lot in.
right.
So in a culture of that mental slavery,
Right.
we've been taught, you know, to break the law.
Okay.
So we grew up in a condition where breaking the law is just a way of life. So we break the law without even thinking about it. It's just natural, you know. But when the prophet came and woke us up in love, he let us know, you know, to look at ourselves. And then we learn the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
What's good, what's not.
Right.
What the law is, what obeying the law is. So today, I try to be a law abider.
Yeah.
I kind of watch the speed limit when I drive. You know, I mean, sometimes I still end up going a little fast,
Right.
but I'm conscious of the speed limit.
Right.
I want to know what is the limit. Even if I'm going 2 miles over, I want to know what the limit is.
Right. And you know what? It would benefit one to recognize or ask themselves, what is my limit?
Yeah. I know I don't want to get no tickets, so.
Come on.
Lying
Lying.
and being willing to tell the truth and accept the truth.
Lying.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was a
lying.
part of the life.
That's a part of the life.
It came along with the package.
That's right.
It came with the, I mean, you know, it almost came natural at a period of time when you're in that life. You know, hey, man, a lie would just jump out you know, before you even knew it. You know, depending on who you was talking to and what condition or circumstance you was in. You know, and so that was one thing that I knew I had to get at up.
Yeah. Lying.
Yeah, I mean, I had to reflect on that though.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about, you know, how far I went back. I said, man, that thing was like, ooh, you had to jump out, but a lot quick, you know. So I had to get that up. I knew I had to get that up,
Yeah.
you know, and turn it around.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
It's not more. I respect everybody's opinion. But something that, you know, that you put out, you know, all of us wasn't culturally raised to be unlawful, you know? And sometimes we hold the thought that the Europeans got this and then we can't get it. You know, if we think like that all the time, then we would never get it. If we hold that thought, you know, so, and like I said, I respect everybody's opinion, everybody's thoughts. But some of them that I don't hold like that. Because as you think them, that's just how you're gonna be. You know. Peace.
But you know what? Everybody don't think the same. Everybody has a particular weight that they're carrying. that may be somewhat different than the weight that others are carrying, or it may, or that particular weight may be the most apparent to them. They can only identify what? Where they are.
At that time.
What do I see that's holding me? Him is lawlessness. Him is lying. One is hate. See, we have different phases of the stuff that's keeping us earthbound.
That's right.
Now the question is, can you even identify anything that's keeping you earthbound, or are you willing to say I'm all right?
Come on.
The idea or the thought is reflection. That's what this is about. Because reflection is what? So if you don't reflect on those things, you will continue to be earthbound. Come on.
It's a lot of people say the same thing, kind of piggybacking off of what you just said, reflecting, that's the word I was looking for. And reflecting on myself, I would say manipulative behavior.
Oh, that's cool, that's heavy. The manipulative behavior. What does that manipulation ability or skill cause? Or what is that manipulation skill?
I would say conceal my actions, trying to not accept responsibility for when I am wrong.
Okay.
But now that I grew older, I can figure out what I'm doing wrong and accept it to change it and not to react on it and conceal that I'm also right and I'm never wrong.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't like to be told that you're wrong. And you try to think that what you're doing is okay by the way that you're doing it, but it's manipulative.
Yeah.
Whether you think that this has a good outcome, sometimes the way that you're trying to persuade people to believe that you're doing something right, you're not doing it in the right manner.
That's right. That's right. That's good. That's right. Come on, Sister Delia.
Also, I want to throw being ungrateful.
I'm grateful.
You know, the things that we receive, we think we need more or we want more. We're not grateful for what we got, and there's a reason why we got what we got at that time.
Right.
You know, and we're not satisfied.
Right.
We're unsatisfied with anything we come about.
Right.
You know, we find something that we want more of.
Right.
You know, or we don't need that. He's the best planner of all. And we accepting him, we're gonna accept the plan that he has for us. But we can be ungrateful, we can be some ungrateful moms.
Very well.
Come on. Brother Thompson.
Being hard-headed and don't listen. Being hard-headed and don't listen, because I always got that, you know, and how to change and how to become a better person. You gotta stop being hard-headed and listen. You know, you could be told something. Yeah. At a certain age, you know, you can be told, you can always be told something. That's all. Yeah. But I see you find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Being hard-headed, not listening. So, you know, when you were coming up, my mother used to always say, you make the bed hard, you want to sleep in.
Yeah.
So it's somewhat toward that.
Yes. Yeah. See, you know, the key with this whole thing is examine what weight you're carrying.
You better leave it.
Yes.
You better leave it.
You know, think about the weight that you're carrying that's stopping you from ascending.
Yes.
Because if you don't look at yourself,
Yes.
you're gonna be here.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
come on.
Listen.
You know, Brother Reed, the thing that came to thought to mind, but he said, who represent the lower self?
Yes.
Those who would cast out the holy city
Yeah.
and those who accept their teaching.
Yes.
At some point in our lives, we accept their teachings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was many phases that came with their teachings that allowed us to function the way we have been functioning until we met the prophet.
Yeah.
I mean, many ways. And you asked us what, you know, we just gave one example.
Yeah.
But there are many ways
Yeah.
that their teachers have had an influence to keep us from seeing ourselves for who we really are.
Yeah.
And when you just said something that made me think about it was, first we must examine their teachings.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that in the true measure is that we gotta have something to examine it against.
Yeah.
The teaching of the prophet is the truth.
Yeah.
Their way of life is a reflection of the truth.
Yeah.
We accept it that way.
Yeah.
And we function under that way.
Yeah.
We defend it that way.
Yeah.
And that way has had a great influence on myself to a point where we don't even know how deep that influence is, because some of us have been that functioning like that since we were a child.
Yeah.
And we never raised out of it, and we took some of them behaviors with us as an adults.
Right.
That's what I think about when he said, you know, watch the bend of the inclination.
Right.
Don't let evil habits
Gain strength.
gain strength.
Yeah.
If you don't address them evil habits when you're young, they don't go away.
Right.
They just enhance themselves. Like Sister A. Shingle said, they become more manipulative.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, and I can just look at myself in my journey.
Right.
Some of the behaviors I had when I was a child, I took them with me.
Right.
I just became more crafty at it.
Right.
You know, but until you address them, you're gonna hold on to them, and that's what I think. I think what we're doing today is, and what we should do on a daily basis, is to evaluate ourselves,
Right.
to see these behaviors,
Right.
and find something wrong with them, even though we may have benefited from them.
Right.
You know, we may have benefited financially, whatever, but they are behaviors that represent a certain way of thinking, and it's going to keep us earthbound as long as we, even if we don't use them all the time, as long as we hold to them and not uproot them, they're there to be dealt with, and at any moment they'll come out when we least expect.
Look, if you don't look at yourself and identify some of the things that you've been doing that keep you thinking a certain way, you can't understand the instructions of the prophet. Because the things that you hold most dear to you are some things that prevent you from seeing beyond the veil. You can't see it until there's certain things. Look, pettiness.
Come on.
Pettiness prevents you from seeing the instructions.
That's right.
Being manipulative. That prevents you from seeing certain instructions. Lying stops you from seeing certain instructions. So you're limiting yourself. And you can't see beyond the limits of the pole. And so now you're stuck. And you think you're progressing. But you're still holding that thing that keeps you from really seeing what he's saying. And then you find yourself responding and acting in the same way. Well, but I still got the teaching of the prophet. Yeah, but you still got that thing that you hold that prevents you from seeing the teachings of the prophet. And then you become a talker. You don't become a walker. Because that thing stops you from seeing the actual truth living. You just can't see it but so far. Yeah.
Islam.
I got you.
I had an opportunity to read a lot while I was away, and I read a book myself where it said, man is an expert in sin, but a neophyte in righteousness.
Yes.
But nevertheless, it is the man himself
Yes.
who must clearly be aware of the sins
Yes.
or faults that beset him.
Yes.
So I was reminded of that when you said, vanity will keep you from seeing yourself.
Yeah.
And I've heard somebody else in here bring up lying or honesty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have courage for truth about who and what you wrestle with,
Yeah.
and courage enough
Yeah.
to address it.
Yeah.
The world ain't gonna come to an end.
Yeah.
Allah ain't gonna stop being your God. He ain't gonna turn his back on you.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, that might be the first step towards a closer relationship. If you could humble yourself
Yeah.
and get rid of your pride and recognize I have faults and failings and weaknesses
Yeah.
that needs to be addressed. Allah help me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Praise God.
yeah, Mom. Yeah, come on, bro, Captain.
Is yeah, Brother Grant, I was thinking when we first came in, one of the first things I used to always hear.
Yeah.
The thought is the cause of it.
Yeah.
You know, when you were saying that, you know, it's what we thinking
Yeah,
is keeping us
yeah,
dead.
yeah,
Whether we going trying to go up
yeah,
or whether we trying to stay down.
yeah, yeah,
It's that thought that we holding
yeah.
is going to determine where we are along
That's
the way.
right, Mom. That's right, Mom. That's right. That's right. That's right. See, we, this is the illusion that we fall under. Just because we've been familiarized with the teachings we think we got.
Yes, yes, yes.
See, we think we're further along than we really are. And we're neglecting to take a look at who? Self.
That's right.
Because after all, look what I'm saying. Time never was, the man was not. Look what I'm saying. But you're not looking at yourself. Come on.
That's a good point, looking at self. And I think Brother Faulkner Basic had courage enough for truth.
Yes, yes, that's right.
See, one of the lessons I've learned, or what I try to use, is, you know, prophecy, when you can't see yourself, others discover you most
Yes,
plainly.
yes.
So sometimes you might not be able to see yourself,
Sometimes that's right.
but you have to have courage enough for the truth. So if you see me in error,
Right,
I would appreciate if you come and let me know,
right,
because I might not see it,
right,
you know? So when you bring it to me, I
right,
can't get offended.
right,
I have to have courage enough for
right,
truth
right,
to accept that you've seen it.
right,
I didn't see it.
right,
If you've seen it, you brought it to me. So now I have to make the adjustment.
right,
You fail to make the adjustment, that's on you.
right,
I mean, we've been taught to study ourselves,
right,
you know, watch ourselves, you know, things like that. But sometimes we don't see ourselves.
right,
But you talked about the baggage earlier.
right,
We hold on to it,
right,
you know. And I was thinking about the axe.
yeah,
We cut away the usually ungainly part.
yeah,
You know, see, I've heard people say we have to address it.
yeah,
Addressing it, I guess, thinking that you see it or whatever, but then what you gonna do? If you still carrying it around, holding on to it,
right,
you know, to gratify that lordship.
right,
I was thinking, why do we hold it?
right, right,
And I thought to gratify that lordship.
yeah, yeah,
You know, we don't want to lose that part.
yeah.
Peace.
And you know why we hold it? Because they don't think our condition is that. That's why we hold it. Because we have yet to accept the fact that our condition can be bad. Come on, Mom.
One of your, actually, one of your favorite lines is, you know, just keep your practice. Keep your practice. I can always hear that in my mind, you know, when I'm not in the temple around you. I always hear you saying, keep the practice. Whatever you do, don't never stop practicing. You know, doing the right thing. I heard a guy say this morning, I think he said, got pulled up on him. He said, man, you call him every name in the book with his wife. And the guy said, man, are you listening to that man talk to you like that?
Right.
You know, right then and there, you know, that would make me think and hear your voice all the time saying, practice, practice. Because it's so easy for you to switch that switch. Because it was only yesterday when, you know, you was out there, you know, so. You know, it helps, you know, it helps a lot. Because you're going into a test every day you go out there in the world. You know, you kind of like see this test coming towards you, so you can prepare yourself almost, right? Living the life that's righteous.
Praise God.
See, what I'm learning is that what I'm learning about this whole experience being in this organization learning that I always got to look at me. You know,
That's it.
and you can't take for granted that you are someplace that you think you are. Because for real, if you think you're there, you're not there. See, I'm learning the importance of the mind thing. Because see, it's the thoughts that you hold that you got to be so careful with. That's all right with you. That you feel it's all right to hold them thoughts. You may think I can hold this thought because I ain't nobody saying it. I ain't acting it out. But that thought that you holding is doing a lot of damage. And you're entertaining yourself with that. You're getting gratification from that. And that becomes, and then once you start to get a certain gratification from a certain way of thinking, it really gets difficult to let it go. Because you think you're losing something. So this whole thing with this movement, now I'm starting to understand a little more about what the prophet said, that this is a thought movement.
You know, one day I was just thinking, Brother Leader, and it talks about deceit.
Yeah.
You practice every day.
Yes.
But see, sometimes, once upon a time, I used to look at that from an outward perspective.
Right.
But deceit, you practice every day with yourself.
Yeah.
You're trying to influence and convince yourself that everything is all right.
Yeah.
See, it's not, because to be able to tell a story or tell a lie, you first got to convince yourself it's going to work.
Right.
So, you know, when you think about the deceit that you practice every day,
Right.
it's not just trying to misguide someone else.
Right.
You got to, you misguiding yourself.
Right.
And that's something that we have to look at, and I have to look at with myself, to not deceive myself, to believe that I'm where I should be, or where I think I am, or I'm better than what I should be, or I know more than what I should be. And in the process, I'm really just tricking myself in the process because I haven't done what it takes to even believe that I'm there where I'm supposed to be. Because I ain't put the work in to do that.
Right.
But it's easy for me to deceive myself.
Right.
I mean, I'm a divine minister, I'm a grand governor, I'm a this and that. Okay, so, but he already let us know that ain't gonna get you saved.
Right.
So you can easily deceive yourself.
Right.
And that's something that we gotta be careful with because it like you say, it can be very tricky,
Right.
you know?
Okay, I got you, Theo. I got you. I saw your hand, Mark Neal. Did I see your hand, Mark Neal?
No, sir.
Okay, it's our Neal.
It's Islam.
Islam.
Praise be to Allah. You know, it's a good conversation, and I really appreciate the analogy of the book that you read using the mountain. Symbolically as our journey.
Yeah, that is our journey.
Falling from the higher plane of spirit, like
Right.
here on this carnal plane of things made manifest.
Yeah.
You know, what's coming to mind when I'm listening, I sat here and listened to a lot of different thoughts. Being open to everything that was said. Everybody described, or many who spoke, described different faults and failings or weaknesses that they say they would be willing to give up or would need to give up to get back up the mountain. You know, we have a good example in our Koran when Jesus went into the wilderness for self-examination. He was open enough to have a conversation with himself.
Right.
And he was sincere enough to be honest when he asked himself questions.
Right.
So he knew some answers that was going to come back and how he looked at those answers when they came back to him.
Right.
He had reached a certain state. And I'm saying it in this way because we reached a certain state from where we were at when we first walked in to now.
Right.
That self-examination got to be an open dialogue with you, with your higher self and your lower self.
Right. Right.
And when you look at it, because one of the first things he acknowledged was that his lower self was strong. And he said by many times, I'm bound to this carnal life. You're in this flesh.
right.
And I hear when we saying we're gonna give up these things, but there has to be a sincere
Yes.
dialogue that you have
Yes,
with yourself in
yes.
order to do it. And he gave us the pattern for which we have to follow to achieve it. We got to fix our heart. Because there lies those thoughts that we are holding inside of ourselves, that even though you acknowledging that you got these teachings, but you also acknowledging, and many of us, or all of us, really, we'll still say, well, I'm in this flesh, I got lower self. Where he identified what it breeds. And he identified what the higher self breeds. You got to make a determination which one, to get back up that mountain, which one do you want, which one are you trying to breed? And when you start breeding the things of the higher self, that's the knife, that's the axe that you start to use to cut away the naughty uses and ungainly parts. One of the things the prophet said in one of his excerpts in the Lord's literature, and I'm paraphrasing right now, but the point is the same with Jesus, when he was Jesus. He had to give up all this carnal way of thinking, this carnal life. His lower self was correct. All these can be yours. And the way they held Jesus in a certain esteem, he could have had the carnal way and ruled. But that was not what was in his heart. And so what I'm looking at is that he was open enough to be honest with himself, to know that he had to fight. We have to fight the foe that's within, because now we're being taught who it is and what it breeds. And when we accept, and that's one of the things that the governor said, and those who accept their teaching, it ain't like we pass accepting them things, we still doing it. Don't fool yourself to think that we in here, we're not still accepting their teaching.
Talk the truth, brother. Talk the truth.
These desires that we have in this carnal flesh, and it urges you, it teaches us in the book. That nature, the carnal nature, urge you to be in constant, not your higher nature. Your carnal nature urges you to be in constant. And in that inconstancy lies something very important that we got to work on. Instability and irresolution. Two great failings of that nature. And what suppresses the tendencies? Firmness of mind. And he's teaching us how to get stronger in our mental state.
That's right.
And that's why we have to return to the state of our forefathers. And what is he talking about? He's talking about those who held and founded that holy city and founded the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. And we got to keep returning to that state of mind until we can grasp hold of it firmly. And that this world don't mean anything to us no more. And that takes some work. But we on that path, and those footprints you talked about are exactly what we have to get back up the mountain.
That's right.
Because the prophet said he knows the way.
That's right. That's right.
You can have all these teachings in front of you, but there got to be a transition that takes place. And it's done in degrees. But you have to be constant in your practice or your attempt to practice these teachings. And purity paves the way for love. So we got to get rid of it, purifying ourselves by having those small victories that we have. Because you asked about some of those things, well, people identify. And then we got to be even more specific. More specific. I don't want to drink no more. I don't want to drug no more. All those little things that have hindered us. See, even when you talk about you not doing like you used to, well, you're holding some of it. And the condition changed. You don't know if you're going. He said a soldier never knows his strength till he meets that foe. Let that condition get to that point, and you might be right back in one of those areas. So we got to keep fighting. And the point is coming in here. And I can appreciate the glass sheet and the moors in here where you are trying to practice. And you are constantly going over and giving food for thought. That we can learn to try to ascend by raising it up and trying to hold it up. The key to this is can you hold?
Can you hold?
Can you hold it? Because we're not gonna be in this setting.
That's right.
This setting is the preparation. Out there is the test. We all can pass while we're in here together.
Yeah, Mom. Yeah.
Praise
The
God.
real test is when you're not in here.
Yeah.
But do you hold the teachings in your heart and mind
Yeah.
so that they can be applied?
Yeah.
And so we're going through it, we're doing good, but don't be satisfied. He said the wise man laboreth in vain for his own approbation. He's trying to improve himself.
That's right.
And the openness that I started out the conversation with is this. But the singer there talked about, he said that, yeah, if you tell me about what I can't see about myself,
Yeah.
well, you got to be open to listening when they come to tell you. Because if you ain't open, you hear it, but you ain't listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a whole lot of us have heard it even before we got in here. Somebody made the example of their parent trying to tell themselves.
Yeah.
You ain't listening.
Yeah.
That's why you got a hard head.
Yeah.
So all of these things coupled with what we're learning now, we got to just continue to practice and be open and do the little things.
Yeah.
See, he said the good within your reach. It's the little things.
Yeah.
And you start practicing, you build up enough strength that thing that used to get you, you really have lost a taste for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Lose the taste for this.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Praise
good.
God.
That's good. That's good. But the word that you mentioned, that we can't just take lightly, and we really gotta understand what it truly means, and that word is sincerity.
Praise God. That's right.
You gotta understand what sincerity really means. Because until you understand what sincerity really means, you're merely fooling yourself.
Exactly.
Remember, whatever we took down the mountain, is not bringing it back up. So you're talking about a true renewal of your ways. You are amending your ways. You are renewing your acts. In other words, you are making a transformation. And that can only be done if you're sincere. Otherwise, you're just fooling yourself. Okay, let's go to the Koran and finish this. The Holy Koran. Okay, I'm gonna read chapter 22, duty of a husband, and I'll wait your input. Certain questions that may be asked. Take unto thyself a wife and obey the ordinance of Allah. Take unto thyself a wife and become a faithful member of society. But examine with care and fix not suddenly. On thy present choice depends thy future happiness. If much of her time is destroyed in dress and adornment, if she is enamored with her own beauty and delighted with her own praise, if she laugheth much and talketh loud, if her foot abideth not in her father's house, and her eyes with boldness rove on the faces of men, though her beauty were as the sun and the firmament of heaven, turn thy face from her charm. Turn thy feet from her paths, and suffer not thy soul to be ensnared by the allurements of imagination. I tell you something, you read this and you start to see it, and when you start to see what's being said, and that seeing it, you can be allured.
Mm-hmm.
You can be allured just reading the verse.
Yes.
So it says, but when thou findest sensibility of heart, joined with softness of manners and accomplished mind, with a form agreeable to thy fancy, take her home to thy house. She is worthy to be thy friend, thy companion in life, the wife of thy bosom. How can a brother appreciate that? He has to do what to be able to appreciate that? What does he have to do to appreciate that.
Be grateful.
Yes, be faithful, but what does he have to
Grateful,
do?
you said grateful.
Grateful.
Oh, grateful, yeah, he has to be grateful, but what does he have to do?
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
But when thou findest sensibility of heart, joined with softness of manners, and accomplished mind, with a form agreeable to thy fancy, take her home to thy house. She is worthy to be thy friend, thy companion in life, the wife of thy bosom. What does he have to do to be able to do? To be able to even, come on, Lord.
Be open.
Fix not suddenly for one.
That's the truth. Fix not suddenly, no question. But what does he have to do?
Open-mindedness.
I think you have to be serious.
Yeah, he got to be serious. No question.
He has to be humble.
He has to be humble. No question. No question. No question. No question. But what else is he? But think about it. Think about it. What do I have to do to even be able to recognize that?
You gotta be living a certain life.
You do have to be living a certain life.
You gotta be conscious.
You gotta be conscious. Yeah. But what do I have to do? I mean, how can I get to a point where I can even recognize it? I'm not seeing it. I may have it, but I may not be able to see it. What's preventing me from seeing it?
Your way of thinking.
Accept it,
Not looking at life.
Yeah, you're not living a life, you're not thinking it. What you say?
accepting it.
Accepting it, yes. But what, maybe I'm not asking this the right way.
You don't recognize.
Gotta value those qualities.
What transformation do I have to make?
You have to strive to live a certain way.
That's right.
You have to strive, because you strive, obedience to his precepts is happiness unto thyself.
That's right.
So,
right.
so when you striving to live according to a certain
Right.
life,
Right.
and being on the path,
Right,
truly being sincere, truly being on the path.
right,
These things may come to you as a form of blessing
right,
for your striving
right,
to do
right,
what Allah so fit for you to do.
right, that's right. Okay, but if I am to recognize sensibility of heart, then I must what?
Be
sensible.
Yes.
If I'm gonna recognize an accomplished mind, then I must what? Be accomplished.
Gotta have those qualities.
You got to have them in you. You got to be able to recognize them because they're in you.
Yeah.
I can't appreciate that in you if I don't have it in myself.
Yeah.
I done bypass, look, you can bypass goodness in a woman
That's right.
because you don't recognize the goodness in yourself. See, that's what we got to understand. It all starts with who? Self. He's giving you the prototype
Yes.
of woman that you're supposed to, that you hopefully are trying to get. But before you even reach the state to be able to get this, you got to be doing something yourself. Or other than that, you'll be looking for something in somebody that you're not yourself. And then you miss what? Direction.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important. Don't fail to recognize this. The importance is what you're doing with you.
That's unjust.
Mhm.
To
If you're
have
not, that's right.
expectations in another human, you don't possess
You know,
yourself.
that's what I'm saying. It's unfair and unjust.
Yes.
You ain't working, but you want somebody that's working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it says, when thou find sensibility of heart,
Yes.
like you have to have.
Yes.
You have to be sensibility of heart.
Yes.
You know, it's like we taught, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if I have sensibility of heart,
Yes.
then I can recognize.
Yes.
But if you don't have it, you know, you can't see it.
No,
Same
you
thing with softness of manners.
Yes.
You know, if you have manners,
Yes.
you know, please, thank you, and you
Yes.
know, it's
Yes.
easy to recognize.
Yes.
It's easy when you don't see it.
Yes. 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 Come on.
I just noticed something in that verse, near the end of it.
Yeah.
in reference to what you saying,
Yeah,
that she is worthy.
yes.
I must be worthy.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. See, we sometimes, you know, we read this chapter sometimes, and we see it there, but we don't think about it needs to be here. And so we can't appreciate it because we don't understand the magnitude that it really possesses. I can't really, if I'm not to a certain point in my development, I can't appreciate an accomplished woman. I can't appreciate it.
You misuse it.
I misuse it.
And if the scales are unbalanced, there's no harmony.
There cannot be no harmony. You know?
So, Brother Leaders, you saying so for you to see it, you must be it.
You got, how can I recognize something that I'm not?
That's right. Come on.
You know?
That's fine.
Because if I'm not that, then I'm going to substitute that with what I think it is. Neglecting what it is.
That's right.
Come on. Come on, Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I got you, Mom. Here.
Yes, sir.
Come on here.
Okay. You mentioned something that's important for us. You used the term prototype.
Yes.
And what that does is should put us in a state of mind that all of the things that the prophet has described,
Yes.
right there in what was read,
Yes.
none of that can be left out.
Yes.
None of that should be left out.
Yes.
And none of that should be left out in you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because you can't go to someone else with that, and he's telling you what it should be. But you should be too.
Yeah.
And one of the things that as we got near the end, the friend,
Yes.
the companion in life,
Yes.
the wife of that bosom.
Yes. Yes.
After you find all those other things,
Yes.
that's the other part of this that gotta fit.
Yes.
It has to fit, and it fits because you're being these things.
Yes.
You're being a friend.
Yes.
You're learning to be a companion in life. And for the brothers, being a husband,
Yes.
that is worthy to have a wife like that.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
So these things all go together
Yeah.
because you said we'll substitute things, and one of the parts that may be we may not look at deep into as we probably need to, a form agreeable to that fancy. That's an important part of this too.
Yeah.
Because he's telling you, don't just settle, because later on, you're not gonna like that.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure that you understand where you're at along the way.
Yeah.
In the same way, even if, because people have different levels of those things, and especially when we talk about from a carnal point of view,
Yeah.
where he got money,
Yeah.
she got money,
Yeah.
or she got a house.
Yeah.
You disregard all the other stuff we're talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
That's not gonna give you happiness.
That's right. That's right.
You gotta be able to deal with the whole description of what the prophet is saying, and you be that same description in a man.
That's right. That's right. Who's gonna say that?
It's, I'm listening, and it keeps being said that it has to be in you in order to recognize it in the other person,
Yes.
and it has to be in you in order for you to be able to, I guess, attract or have that from another person.
The habit of another person, it has to be in you. Well, see, you're making, but see, he's letting us know that this is our choice. This is the
Okay,
choice that we make.
let me focus on the part about
Yes.
seeing it or having it within you,
Yes.
so that in order to recognize it in
Yes.
someone else.
Yes.
can it also be that you are learning to be that way?
Yes, yes,
Not
yes.
necessarily that I am that way.
No,
so
no, that's
why I
right, that's
recognize
right,
it.
that's right, that's
I
right.
am learning to be that way.
Right. See, that's important because remember, we are always striving
Yes.
So then they can help
each other. That's right. They take,
to help that seed to grow.
yes, that's right.
Can I put this
That's
in real
right.
fast?
Yeah.
And remember he said, fix, not settle.
That's right.
And that's the learning part.
That's right.
That's the growing to it.
That's right.
Because you're not just jumping into it, you actually,
That's right.
just like we're looking at ourselves, we're unfolding.
Yes.
So we gotta let somebody else unfold too.
Yes.
We gotta work with them as you would like for them to work with you.
Yes. Yes.
And you said the word, we're in transition.
Yeah, we transition.
Islam, brother Lee.
Yeah.
From a practical point of view, we have a chapter in here, Beware Young Man.
Yes.
So usually, in this particular case, we're talking about brothers and sisters who are just coming out of their adolescent stage.
Yeah.
And at that age, certainly you can't presume because we just left a lesson saying, don't be under the illusion of thinking of yourself more than you are.
Yeah.
Recognize that if you are in that stage of life,
Yeah.
sometimes, especially if we Muslims in a temple with divine ministers who have a great deal of experience, we ought to seek out their counsel in how we should develop these qualities so that we'll get help in knowing what we're looking for. And the opportunities to find them in the places where it's more likely to might become more apparent to us. Peace.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you got it.
I understand what Brother saying, but it's delusion versus nationality. Because she might be in a state of mind of the form of delusion that I was once in. I'm living in the spirit of nationality. She might not be living in the spirit of nationality. So I have to accept to work with her to get her to understand how important Moorish, how important that word Moorish alone is over 10,000 years old.
Okay, Mom. All right.
So I got to identify each word to her and how important nationality is.
Okay.
See, she might not be a part of it. But I like her. I'm different.
All right.
So I have to unfold. She got to be a one unfold.
Okay, look. It's time to go.
Yeah, praise God.
But anyway, I know we gotta go, but I don't wanna leave on that note. I'm gonna finish the chapter.
That's right.
It says, "Oh, cherish her as a blessing sent to thee from heaven.
That's good.
Let the kindness of thy behavior endear thee to her heart.
Yeah.
She is the mistress of thy house. Treat her therefore with respect,
This one.
that thy servants may obey her. Oppose not her inclination without cause. She is the partner of thy cares. Make her also the companion of thy pleasure.
This one.
Reprove her faults with gentleness. Exact not her obedience with rigor. Trust thy secrets in her breast. Her counsels are sincere. Thou shalt not be deceived. Be faithful to her bed, for she is mother of thy children. when pain and sickness assault her, let thy tenderness soothe her affliction. A look from thee of pity and love shall alleviate her grief or instigate her pain, and be of more avail than 10 physicians. Consider the tenderness of her sex, the delicacy of her frame, and be not severe to what? She may not be here, but you're not to be severe to that. But remember thine own what?
Imperfections.
That's what I'm stopping.
Praise God.
Peace.
Peace.
That's it, Mo.
Islam Moors.
Islam.
Praise be to Allah. I'd like to thank our Grand Sheikh, our moderator, brother man and friend, for a very thought-provoking class. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your participation. At this time, we call forth the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C., Brother H. Harris Bay, to read our proclamation. And while the proclamation is being read, please give it your undivided attention and please cease all movement.
Islam.
First, let me praise Allah and honor the Prophet Noble Ali. I give honor to each and every one of you, and I give honor to everything Prophet Noble Ali has born for the uplift and the fall of humanity. Prophet warns all mouths of governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We offer peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards to European that causes confusion. Remember, your God is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive a reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, buttons, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state for I, the prophet. This is a holy divine movement founded by the prophet known to Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet. Do the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble to Ali. Peace.
Peace.